All right, we're at the top of the hour. I like to start on time. I'm very conscious that people joining today are taking precious time out of their calendars. So welcome to today's webinar, Turning Traffic Peaks into Profit, Getting the Most Out of Your Drops and Collabs. Super excited to have you here today. We are recording this session and we will be distributing it afterwards. So if there's anything you missed or you want to share it with your colleagues, can already tell you right now, we should make that available to you the next couple of days. So thanks for tuning in. And without further ado, let's get some introductions underway. So my name is Jillian Als. I'm the VP of Marketing here at Qt. Been here about a year. I have been in marketing my entire career. I actually started in B2C e-commerce back in, I won't tell you when, 2006. And yeah, it's come a long way. I've really enjoyed the journey here and looking forward to giving you my perspective from the lens of marketing today. And with me, I have Tatiana, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Yeah, well, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As Jill mentioned, my name is Tatiana. I won't bother you with my surname, but I am the CS team lead for the EMEA market. And together with my awesome team of 5 customer success managers, we take care of a few hundreds of our customers within the EMEA region. I've actually been in Qt for 8 years and 9 years in Denmark. For those who can't really tell, it's not a purely Danish surname. I'm actually from Slovakia. And I've worked with customers my whole career, the past 8 years, and so I'm excited to share a little bit of the learnings from the customer perspective and what has our lovely customers told us over the years. And whether it's sneaker drops, concert ticket sales, tech releases, we are working with the world's biggest companies on their biggest days, and our virtual waiting room is a bolt-on tool that lets you control online traffic so your site or app can handle the traffic peaks without re-architecting your system for extreme load. You then deliver fair online experience and get peace of mind on your mission-critical days. So what today we're going to be discussing, we have a few points that we'll focus on getting the most out of your traffic during drops and collaborations. I cannot say collabs properly, so we went with collaborations. We'll also share a few examples and learnings from the many e-commerce customers that we work with. Firstly, we'll talk about, of course, peak traffic, when and how you might experience peak traffic and what does it mean to your business. Secondly, your website, it works 24/7 to make sure that you and your company meet sales targets. But is your whole stack actually able to keep up with the demand and hype you've created? And thirdly, how can you make most out of your customers' undivided attention during hyped events? And of course, we'll have some surveys in the middle, and we'll finish off with a Q&A.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to mention, at any point you have any questions, please just do pop them directly into the questions panel. We'll get to them at the Q&A. So what do these brands have in common? You've got everything from a luxury retailer to the world's biggest fast food chain to the world's biggest entertainment company. Well, you might have guessed it if you're attending today's webinar. These are all brands that are making use and kind of gaining from using the product drop and collaboration strategy. And it's kind of no reason or no guess as to why. It drives some really good business. So 67% of consumers report increased brand affinity after product drops. 66% of fashion industry employees say the product drop model is important to their business, and 45% of consumers shop product drops because they value that access to the products that are hard to get, that exclusivity, if you will. So if you take an example, well, we've got New Balance, right? And they're making headlines left and right. And if you're like me, you're like, New Balance, aren't those like dad shoes? Yes, they're dad shoes. But guess what? My 17-year-old niece wears dad shoes. She loves them. They've really deployed this product drop strategy and collaboration strategy to drive their brand forward, and it's paid off for them. So they adopted this strategy in 2018. You can see in the graph just how the trend has gone up since then. Their search volume for the brand has tripled. They had secondary sales more than doubled in 2022, and they had record revenue in 2023. So just great example of a brand that's really making use of this strategy and doing well with it. So I have a little Spider-Man quote that everyone makes fun of me for saying, but with great traffic comes great responsibility. And it's product drops aren't an easy thing necessarily to pull off, and mistakes can happen. And, we've certainly had the honor of helping customers when they've made those mistakes to step in and help them with them. But Tatiana's just going to walk through some of the biggest pitfalls to avoid, if you will, while using the product drop methodology.
Absolutely. And we hear all three of them a little bit too often. So we're happy to help. And of course, number one, creating hype and crashing your own site in the process is probably the worst mistake that can happen. Drops drive surges of traffic that crash even the biggest website. Dozens of major brands have been brought down by drops, and some of my favorite examples actually include Amazon on their Prime Day. So it might not be a drop or collaboration, but it's their biggest sale of the year. So even they managed to crash themselves a few years back. And website crashes then simply lead to lost revenue, and your customers can't purchase items they desire. You're losing on revenue. There are really no winners there. For the second mistake, of course, lots of things are being caused by surges of traffic, and one of them is also products overselling. And one major apparel brand told us that they oversold as many products as they sold during the drop. And that's a lot of cancellation emails and a lot of unhappy customers. Overselling leads to loss of trust, and it also leads to bad reputation. Of course, dropping in some statistics, you don't have to just take my word for it. 1 in 3 customers will leave the brand they love after just one bad experience. 2 in 3 trust a business less after experiencing just one website problem. And over half will completely abandon the brand just after 2 or 3 bad experiences. And for a final mistake, on top of all of that, you have bots and resellers scrambling to get their hands on your hyped or limited product. This adds to the load on your website, and if you're not prepared, it creates a lot of unfairness and customer complaints. You miss the connection to true customers as they buy from resellers on third-party marketplaces. So to conclude on how to not do mistakes on your next collab, make sure your site or app is equipped to cope with this traffic. Watch out for overselling and fight the bots. Every negative digital interaction weakens trust. Consumers expect perfection, and you can't afford even one bad interaction.
So a lot of pressure on that big day, right? So you need to ensure that your infrastructure can withstand it. Coming from Qit, obviously we have a perspective on how to solve for that, using a virtual waiting room, not just to protect the infrastructure, but to ensure a fair, smooth kind of process as well. Fight off the bots, don't let them in, and ensure that you're kind of going at a pace in which your inventory management can keep up, and that the actual purchase flow is smooth, right? So even if your website's not going to crash, you don't want it to be slow either or unpredictable. So, without Qit, you can get overwhelmed, you can get swarmed from bots, you can just simply not be able to keep up with the traffic. With Qit, it's a pretty easy to implement solution that we implement that redirects to the waiting room until it's their turn based on whatever kind of outflow you determine is appropriate for your website. And it's kind of able to identify malicious traffic and seed that out without letting it go through to the website to make the purchase. So if you want to talk more about that, we can, but I won't spend a lot of time on it. But the point here just being that, this saves more than just your website. It's going to allow you to maximize your sales revenue. It's going to allow you to sell through your products efficiently and correctly, not oversell. It's also offering you a really great opportunity to capitalize on what I would call a brand moment for a great experience. And that's kind of what we want to segue into today, is talking a little bit more about, all right, you've done the hard work of building the hype and the demand for this product drop. Like, how can you continue, make sure that continues into lasting revenue? Because a lot of times when we talk to our clients or prospective clients, they're really coming at it from a threat to infrastructure perspective. We think that's a shame because I think there's a lot of business value in that, and that can keep growing and evolving over time when done right. So we're going to jump into some kind of nuts and bolts on how we think you could do that with 5 tactics to capitalize on your big brand moment. And just starting with the first one here, capitalizing on that undivided attention. I just mentioned you've spent all this time, all this marketing effort to drive people to your sale for the drop, for the collaboration. If you're coming from a collaboration perspective, it might be that, you've brought your audience and whoever you're collaborating with has brought their audience, right? So it's a really unique time to also kind of cross-sell and then promote related products. You can offer exclusive discounts to the other brand. I think the unique thing about product drops is it is a way to, sell product through efficiently and create a lot of hype without having to discount, but you could always use the opportunity to kind of put that hook in for later as well. Showcase your lookbooks or the next season's, kind of lines, if you will. You can make an offer for free shipping based on order value. So there's a lot going on in that undivided attention. I think it's important that you think about the entire purchase journey, how that can continue to add zeros, I guess, to the end of your bottom line there. And Tatiana's going to walk through some examples with customers we've worked with on this.
Absolutely. And in this example, one of our customers is releasing a limited edition item. And as you can see, there's lots of waiting information at the top of the page to keep customers informed of what to expect from the drop, followed by product details and video promo as well. And lastly, you can see cross-promotion of new arrivals to their webshop to incentivize customers to increase their basket value. In the second and third examples, or in the next 2 examples, we'll showcase how to best capture the user's attention. It's very likely that your customers will already be on your website waiting for the sale to open, or they're on your product pre-launch page, your homepage, or in your virtual waiting room. Regardless, these 2 examples show how to incentivize larger orders by offering a discount code specifically to people showing up for your drop or launch. And while the first example offered additional products at a better price as a part of the drop campaign, the second example rewards wait with a discount code. And one more example. Perhaps your product or your hype product is part of a larger collection. Why not showcase the rest of the collection, the rest of the products that you're selling, and let the customers browse the items, have a look while they're still waiting in the queue for your actual drop. And so what does all of this lead to? As one of our customers, Hills Fields, has told us, is that they were actually able to use this cross-selling tactic to triple their sales during their product drop, which is absolutely a testament to what you can do with the user's attention and with one sale that you're running at a time, and how to increase your basket value, order value, and keep your users entertained, but also happy to buy more.
Yeah, great example. So the next tactic we want to talk about is driving member signups, loyalty, whatever you refer to it in your business, simple newsletter sign up. This is about, using that, again, unique opportunity, especially if you're working with Collabs, to build out your loyal customer base, right? And we all know that kind of first-party data is the new golden standard. So getting their email address sometimes can be as valuable as the actual sale of whatever you're selling. If you are deploying a waiting room, you can certainly add it in the waiting room. That's a great opportunity. We have a lot of customers that are, using exclusive access for their loyalty programs. So they actually use the waiting room to say, hey, guess what? You're not invited to this party yet. If you want to be the first to be invited next time, sign up here. So that's just one tactic of ways of using, for example, Qt to do that. But really, however you're driving that traffic, you need to capitalize and make sure that you're getting the permissions to kind of continue to speak to them over time. And the exclusive access, we really feel and see in the market that that's been a very unique tactic in driving a lot of brand affinity alongside and kind of complements the product drop and collaboration strategy quite well. So if you have questions about that, we'd be happy to take them at the end as well. And I think Tatiana has some great examples again for you on this.
Yes, absolutely. And the two examples coming are both a little bit different, but both of them talk about how you can use the membership base for actually a mutually beneficial relationship. Because we often talk, we want to get the customers' email addresses, and oftentimes forget a little bit to talk about, okay, what are the users getting out of it? But here in this example from one of our customers, they were actually sold out of the campaign, because of course lots of these campaigns should be limited in stock. Otherwise, it's not that hyped. Otherwise, it's not so valuable to sit in a queue. But here in these examples, there were lots of users who simply missed out. And by offering them the ability to join the membership or join the waiting list for the next sale, the users are happy. They are prioritized when the next drop comes. And also the company is happy because they get more members, they get more users to promote their products to. So this is one of the great examples. The second one is very similar, but a little bit flippity flopped. So essentially, we have worked with the customer to gate the access to the sale only for existing members. However, they have actually given the users the possibility through the waiting room to actually sign up with their email on the spot and be able to join the queue or join the sale that's only for VIPs right at the moment. So you don't have to wait for the next sale to get the benefits of the membership, but you get them right away. So both the company and the users get the benefits immediately. And what that led to, as you can see from the code from our customers Betaneta, the VIP experience they've created contributed to them hitting the sales target for the whole night in just 11 minutes and for the whole week after just 3 hours of sale. I think that's just a great testament of also, you can see that was a Black Friday event, right? So even if some people say maybe Black Friday is a little bit dead, maybe it isn't if you know how to use it well for your benefit.
Yeah, I think to that point, hype has existed as long as kind of humankind has existed, right? So I think it's about, and what we're talking about today is those strategies and techniques to kind of continually make that brand affinity through hype and through scarcity marketing and anticipation marketing even stronger for your company. I mentioned already that first-party data is kind of the golden standard now. I mean, it's more than just an email address. So in these examples, talking a little bit more specifically to deploying a queue and what that opportunity represents while they're waiting. So you can quiz your customers, right, to kind of understand them more, to get more about their preference data in the queue. So they're waiting anyway. You might as well make it fun for them. And, there's a business benefit to you that you can use to more narrowly target your campaigns in the future. You can use preferences. You could do quizzes. I think actually Tatiana is going to show you some great examples of what we got. But the point is that data seems like a bad word these days, and it's a hard word for marketers because it's so important. But there's a really unique opportunity where you've got that peak traffic that you absolutely should be capitalizing upon. And there's just a lot of great ways that you can do that. And Tatiana will walk you through some examples here.
And the more data you can get on customer preferences, the more efficient your future sales and ones will be. Again, both for the end users, both for your customers and for yourself. And for example, in this custom team here, you can quiz the customers on their preferred brand, model, color, or anything else you come up with, essentially. Or you can also add a simple game, like a memory game, to not only keep your customers entertained, but also to get insights into which brands, items, or maybe colors they remember easiest. And as a bonus, you can showcase items from your collection or any similar products that might be of interest to whoever is waiting.
Tactic number 4, so boosting conversions with scarcity marketing and social proof. So again, social proof, it's so easy in a physical world, right? You're maybe lining up out the door literally for whatever product it is you're trying to get your hands on. So you can see you could feel the buzz around this product that everyone else wants to. And oh gosh, are they going to have my size or my iPhone configuration that I want when I get there? we really see that you can also translate that into the online experience, right? So again, you've done the hard work to drive the traffic. So what are you doing to make sure that you're kind of capitalizing the most out of that moment, and really making use of that scarcity marketing? So you can use the queue to show how many people are waiting, make sure they kind of feel like, yes, I'm actually in the right place with, 6,000 of my other friends, or whatever the number might be. You can create a sense of urgency using persuasive language. And you can really also at the same time provide a very fair experience and being transparent about, what's still in stock, right? That would be a best practice so that someone doesn't get there and get disappointed. But at the same time, again, it just feeds that, oh my gosh, like, yes, this is going fast. I'm here for a reason. We all want to get our hands on this product. So again, Tatiana has some great examples to walk us through.
And yeah, the question is, so how do you then prove that your product is popular? Well, you can say it or you can show it. And one of our customers actually chose to display a lot of what we call key user metrics. So what's your number in line? How many users are ahead of you? Expected arrival time to the website, estimated wait time. All of it tells you, well, there's a lot of people that have already been through the queue. There's also just 5 minutes I need to wait. Why would I go somewhere else? Why would I risk something happening in the meantime, forgetting that I should come back? Because I really want to get this product. So these metrics really show how popular your product is, how many people want it, while actually keeping you informed about what's going on. So this was about showing it. You can also say it like Nike did. We'll may trust them. Let's see how that goes. But Nike created a sense of competition by using persuasive language, like in this sneaker drop notification. And the copy exudes both scarcity and demand. So they've claimed that their drops are extra special, coveted, hot, and quantities will be limited. Which again, it's a great brand, great product, but it's easier just to show some things, not just to tell them to your audience. And there's also different ways how you can achieve that. But one of our most used ones is actually providing stock updates that show products selling out in the real time. And this can create even stronger sense of urgency and competition for customers. But it also manages the expectations on the customer side. If all the shoes of 37 are sold out, well, maybe it's not worth waiting anymore, but it's worth signing up for the next drop and getting the shoes 37 you need.
Yeah, or just pretending your feet can be in bigger shoes if you really want.
That's also a strategy.
Tactic number 5, increasing engagement. So this is another one that, how do you connect that feeling of community from the physical world to the digital world? So important for when you're doing hype events and brand affinity in general. So how do you make a sense of a community through the waiting room? There's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can add promotional videos. Maybe it's if you're you've got an awesome video with your collab, or you've got a celebrity endorsing your product. That's a great chance to once again put that in front of those that are waiting. You could add music, make it a little bit more fun. You can incorporate social media links with hashtags, like, get the community going into the realms in which they're used to, right, in their social communities. And we've already mentioned a couple of times you can promote a competition. So there's just great ways of actually using the waiting room and increasing engagement during that moment as well. And again, Tatiana has great examples.
As predicted. What we maybe haven't mentioned in the beginning is that a lot of the components that you see, except for the waiting information, is something you can embed through iframes. So you can do a lot of interesting, crazy, whatever you want kind of things on the queue page and show the users that you're really interested in helping them out during the wait. And one of those could be also sharing the Instagram feed, or used to be Twitter, now X feed, sharing branded hashtags and so forth, really showing the community and showing what's happening outside the queue, outside the world a little bit. Or you can also keep it just simple with embedding YouTube video showing the top features of your product, or an influencer endorsing it. And it also helps you build anticipation and get people excited about using your product. And we, of course, have more tactics or more helpful information that you can check out on our blog, and to learn more about getting first-party data for personalization with surveys, quizzes, and simple games, or earning via affiliate and partner marketing. So check out either the QR code that you can see, or check out our blog page on our website.
To sum up, right, of course, we need to make sure, or you need to make sure that your website can handle the demand. And you have to also remember that the demand can be unexpected. I mean, you should hope that if you've done your job well, you've created the hype, that it's got enough interest, but you might also have the interest of bots, right? Have you considered that? And have you considered the entire website journey? Like, is your shipping tax calculator a third-party component to your checkout flow that maybe isn't as scalable as the rest of your website or is out of your control? So really need to make sure that you can handle that from an infrastructure perspective. When using a waiting room is one way to solve that. There's other ways, of course, as well. But when you then get to that situation in which you have that undivided attention, make sure you're making the most out of it by trying to cross-sell, using the persuasive language, promoting community, potentially collecting first-party data. And of course, thirdly, kind of build that, keep building on the hype and anticipation by showing how popular a product is. Transparency, we're big fans of that here at Qit. Not only just for the sake of showing people and that social proof that they're, anticipating and needing to make sure that they get their hands on the product, but it also, promotes fairness in a way. So I think those were like the big main takeaways, and we're really excited to answer some questions that you have. Like we said, please do throw them into the chat, and we'll make sure we get to as many as we can. And if for whatever reason we can't get to all of them, we'll of course follow up one-on-one afterwards.
All right, so we get some questions coming up, so happy to take out a few of those at least. So how can I convince my tech team to add yet another system to our existing ones? Definitely a big question, not just for Qit, but overall. And I think that, again, I cannot talk for other solutions. I can talk for Qit, but this is actually usually an easy sell, because we have such a powerful but easy and quick integration that it actually doesn't really add to the load of your systems. And in many cases, we can actually avoid touching your system completely by using a CDN or load balancer. So we can also avoid touching the systems. And trust me, I've seen a lot of the old historic ones that you don't really want to touch at all. So from this perspective, your tech team shouldn't be worried about the implications of Qit integration. And again, it's something that you can do really quickly, test really quickly, and have very few downfalls if something's going on specifically with the integration. But again, happy to explain more if need be. And I think I can take the second question as well. If the waiting room is customizable and how does it work? Definitely a big yes. You can customize everything. And we actually have a pretty good blog and the webinar from last few months ago, where we actually talk about all of the possibilities. You can customize everything from the background, the videos or pictures that you're showing for the catalogs, anything from social media, games, texts, fonts, everything. We've seen pages that don't look like anything that we would offer ever, and so we've seen people get pretty creative.
My favorite, I think, is like when we've had little like dogs instead of a walking person on the waiting room. We've had dogs, we've had airplanes.
Exactly. So there's infinite possibilities, I would say, and of course, there's also possible to white label the solution. So there's a lot more to that as well. And it works relatively simple. We usually help out when you send us materials, some files, or you just send us a website and then we make a mock-up for you. So there's lots of options, from helping you completely to not helping you at all. So in any case, we're happy to support.
And I have my tech figured out. So the marketing person here has figured out the tech. I could take the next question, so I don't have to put the whole thing on Tatiana here. There's one that says, can you give another example of a customer who used the waiting room to drive loyalty signups? You saw kind of the examples that Tatiana showed for the North Face and for Billonidom. Sorry, I have to say it with my Danish accent. And I think another one that comes to mind that was quite cool was we worked with a company called Rafa, and they did a drop in which they had time drops, and they were also offering exclusive access for their member base. So it was a little bit the same kind of what I alluded to of, hey, you're not invited to this party, but if you want to be next time, sign up here. So they made it not completely available right away. Their member program was actually a paid member program. So that was actually an additional revenue stream for them, right? So they built so much hype. They had people coming in early to their sales, in which they didn't have the early access. And then they got to sign up for the membership program so that they could be part of drops in the future. So that was not only, building their loyalty program, but also building a revenue stream. So I thought that was a pretty cool example as well. And then, of course, we probably have a number of different ones that we didn't share today. Our website has lots of examples of waiting rooms where you can see different designs and ways. Back to the point of customization, pretty much anything is possible. I think that's all we have for questions today. If you think of more and this is still up and we don't get to it, by all means, just to throw them in. And if I've missed them because I don't have my tech completely as figured out as I thought I did, apologies. And we'll make sure that we follow up afterwards when we get the report. And like I said, this recording will be made available. And just want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. Hopefully you learned something, and connect on LinkedIn if you'd like. And otherwise, we'll hope to see you soon. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.